Okay, so you look at digital finance today. It's just a whirlwind, isn't it? New blockchains, DeFi protocols changing constantly, the metaverse. Well, who knows exactly what that's
It's
becoming.
a lot. Trying to figure out what's genuinely significant, what's really going to stick,
Yeah,
it feels almost impossible sometimes.
exactly. So today we're doing something a bit different. Instead of trying to cover everything, we're really zeroing in, deep dive style.
hmm
We're looking at just one thing, a single, pretty intriguing digital asset, the domain name xt.money.
Right. And we've got some material to work with here, basically a sales presentation and an FAQ document specifically for xt.money.
Yeah.
So our mission really is to get under the hood of this specific domain, understand it, look at its potential value, and sort of unpack what it might mean strategically for anyone interested in where finance and tech are heading.
You know, when I first saw xt.money, it sparked something. It's short, it's got this modern feel. There's something there.
Definitely catches the eye.
So let's just dive straight in. What are we actually looking at with this name, xt.money? What's the thinking behind it?
Okay, so let's break it down. The presentation explains XT as, well, a deliberate synthesis.
Okay.
Think of the X standing for exchange. You know, that core activity in crypto, buying, selling, trading digital assets. Constant flow.
Right, the fundamental action.
Exactly. And then the T clearly points to transfer. Sending value, peer-to-peer payments, remittances, all that stuff, ideally seamlessly on a blockchain. So XT kind of bundles these two absolute essentials of digital finance together. In a world focused on decentralized stuff and moving assets easily, a name that says exchange and transfer right away feels relevant, maybe more than some older financial domain names.
Exchange and transfer. Huh, yeah, it's like the DNA of digital finance sort of baked right in.
That's a good way to put it. And then you get to the .money part, the
Yeah.
top-level domain. But notice the spelling of money, M-O-N-E-Y.
Yeah, I saw that, not M-O-N-E-Y.
Why? Well, the presentation makes a point of saying this isn't a typo, it's strategic.
Okay.
Phonetically, it sounds exactly the same, right? Money, so people remember it. But that slightly different spelling, that could potentially make it easier to trademark down the line.
Ah, interesting. A legal angle.
And also maybe a viral marketing angle, too. That little difference could be a hook, something people talk about, makes it stickier, more shareable online. It adds a bit of playful distinctiveness, which can matter in meme-heavy online spaces.
Okay, let's unpack this a bit more then, this deliberate construction.
Mhm.
What are the real strengths? What advantages does a domain like xt.money actually offer someone?
Right. This is where it gets interesting. The presentation lays out a few key points. First, something they call syllabic economy and cognitive retention,
Fancy terms, meaning.
meaning it's short, just 7 characters. xt.money. Super easy to remember, to say, to type, especially on a phone.
Your brevity counts online
Yes.
a lot.
Definitely. Huge advantage today. Works across websites, social media handles, apps. Even saying it out loud is easy. That omnichannel thing.
Makes total sense. Shorter cuts through the noise. What else?
Then there's what they describe as native Web3 proclivity. Basically, the name just feels right for the Web3 world.
How so?
It aligns naturally with things like decentralized exchanges, DX's digital wallets, maybe even digital identity solutions. It sort of speaks the language of this new phase of the internet.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. It doesn't sound like an old bank trying to be cool. It feels newer.
Exactly. And maybe the most powerful idea is this omnidirectional branding synthesis.
Whoa, okay. Break that one down for us.
It just means it's really versatile. The presentation gives a bunch of examples. Like, sure, you could have XT Exchange, a straightforward crypto trading platform.
An obvious one.
But it could also be the brand for a peer-to-peer payment network, or an algorithmic stablecoin, or maybe a gamified savings app aimed at younger users.
Gamified savings.
Or even, lean into the meme side, build something around meme-centric tokenomics, where the community and viral appeal are baked in. The point is that XT plus money combo seems flexible enough for a really wide range of financial tech ideas.
That versatility is pretty compelling. It's not just a name. It sounds like it offers real strategic options. Okay, here's where it gets really interesting for me, the practical stuff. SEO, digital marketing. How does xt.money play out there?
Yeah, super important. That unique spelling of money, M-O-N-E-Y, creates what they term semantic uniqueness.
Meaning?
Because it's not the standard spelling, it might face less competition for certain specific financial search terms. It could give you a bit of an SEO head start in a crowded field.
Huh, that's clever. A little spelling tweak for a potential search advantage.
Potentially, yeah. And they also map out possible hashtag campaigns, things like hashtag xt.money, obviously, but also hashtag crypto transfer, hashtag nextgen finance, hashtag exchange and transfer, hashtag money moves, using both parts of the name.
Right, leveraging the component.
And this links to their idea of cognitive branding resilience. The name is distinct, memorable. It could potentially catch on in viral campaigns and really stick in people's minds online.
Okay, so we've got the name, the strategy, the marketing angle. Let's get concrete. How could someone actually use this domain? The presentation had examples, right? Like a table.
Yeah, exactly. A table showing potential uses across different sectors. So for crypto exchanges, you could imagine XT coin, maybe XT market, or a service called Money Swap.
Okay.
For DeFi and payments, maybe it's the brand for an instant transfer layer. Or a system for immutable remittances, sending money across borders reliably.
Immutable remittances. Okay, that's specific.
They even suggest fintech innovations like microfinance platforms or tools using gamification or behavioral economics, maybe something built on a fast network like Solana or Polygon for those low-cost transfers.
Wow, that's a broader range than I might have initially thought.
It is. They also mention NFT ecosystems, maybe an NFT marketplace where XT is part of the branding or valuation mechanism.
Right, NFTs need that value exchange aspect.
And yeah, they even throw in the idea of it being used for a meme coin or token. On the lighter side,
Hey, okay. Covers all bases.
and looking ahead, they even touch on AI finance. Like imagine saying to your AI assistant, transfer my money using XT. Could be relevant for automated trading platforms too. It just shows the adaptability they see in it.
It does sound incredibly adaptable. Okay, let's shift gears a little. The investment side. The presentation talks about market positioning and investor prerogative. What's the core message there for someone thinking about buying it?
The main argument is basically buying xt.money isn't just getting a URL. It's acquiring a potentially scarce piece of digital real estate.
Okay.
Something that could become a foundational brand for future financial services. They paint this picture of it becoming, a trusted name, maybe even a meme legend in the Web3 space, or that AI finance interface we just mentioned.
So what does this all mean then for a potential investor? They're saying it's an asset with real growth potential tied to these evolving digital sectors.
That's exactly it. They're pitching it as potentially a cornerstone brand, something with lasting impact.
Right. Now, that FAQ section in the presentation is super useful. Let's hit some of the key questions someone would likely ask. First off, they confirm the money TLD is standard, yeah?
Yep. They state clearly it uses the recognized .money TLD, which obviously fits the financial theme perfectly. Good for marketing.
And pronunciation, is it meant to be tricky?
Nope. Straightforward. They clarify it's just XT money. Easy to say, easy to remember.
Good. And we covered this, but just to confirm, XT stands for?
Exchange and transfer. They're consistent on that.
Okay. Now, trademarking potential. That's got to be huge for a buyer.
Absolutely. They argue the unique combo of XT and .money gives strong potential for IP protection, especially once you build a brand around it.
And it's definitely aimed at future finance, Web3, DeFi, all that.
No question. They position it specifically for innovative financial services in those exact areas.
Crucially, is anyone using it right now? Is it active?
No. They make a point of saying it's a pristine digital asset, ready to be developed, deployed, or just held as a strategic investment. Untouched.
And they mention the SEO benefits again in the FAQ.
They do. They double down on the idea that the relevance to money plus the unique XT prefix gives it a strong semantic base for SEO in finance.
Okay, so why do they call it a premium domain? That $35,000 minimum offer suggests they see real value.
But their justification comes down to a few things. Its brevity, the symbolism of exchange and transfer, its uniqueness from that spelling tweak, and its direct relevance to booming sectors like crypto and fintech.
Makes sense. Who do they see as the ideal buyer then?
They list startups, crypto platforms, fintech companies, NFT developers, and also domain investors looking for high-potential digital assets. A pretty wide net.
Could it be the name for a mobile app, like a wallet or payment app?
Definitely.
Yeah.
They say it's perfectly suited for apps focused on wallets, transfers, maybe those behavioral finance tools or social payment ideas.
And the spelling of money, M-O-N-E-Y, is standard to keep it clear.
Right. The XT is the unique part. Money keeps it grounded and instantly recognizable.
What about the meme potential? They address that directly.
Yeah, they acknowledge that while it sounds professional, its shortness and the money part make it easy to weave into viral campaigns, especially targeting Web3 and Gen Z audiences.
And if someone wanted to launch a crypto token, Could XT be the ticker?
Absolutely. They confirm XT could work well as a token ticker, or a name for a utility coin within its own ecosystem.
And things like NFT marketplaces or DeFi platforms, suited for those too.
Explicitly, yes. They say it's great for an NFT marketplace, money being core to value exchange, and a perfect fit for DeFi stuff like DXs or yield farming platforms.
Okay, technical stuff. Standard web hosting, email, all compatible.
Yep, full compatibility confirmed. You can set up professional email addresses like anything at xt.money.
And subdomains, if you wanted to build out different sections like trade.xt.money.
Yes, they assure full DNS control so you can create whatever subdomain structure you need. Very flexible.
They emphasize marketing strength again, which makes sense given how memorable it sounds.
No doubt. They highlight that memorability as a major plus for advertising effectiveness.
And it seems pretty broad, not too niche.
That's their argument. Versatile across crypto, payments, fintech, maybe even adjacent areas like entertainment tech.
Global potential.
Any language barriers?
They argue its core concepts are universal, so it should scale globally without issues.
What about trust? Finance needs trust.
Good point. They say the domain provides a strong base, but ultimately trust comes from the branding, the user experience, the service itself. The domain is just the start.
And mobile friendliness. Easy to type on phones.
Yes, its shortness is a big advantage there. Well suited for mobile browsing.
Web3 integration, wallets, dApps.
They confirm seamless integration is possible with modern tech stacks, including crypto wallets and smart contracts.
Okay. The sale itself, who owns it now?
It's privately held, they say, and offered for direct purchase.
And it comes with clean title, really transferable. Affirmative, full, unencumbered ownership transferred upon purchase.
Can potential buyers verify the registration themselves?
Yes, they say just use any standard WHOIS lookup tool.
Any current legal headaches? Trademark disputes?
They state explicitly, none. It's clear of legal issues right now.
But the buyer could potentially trademark it later.
That's the idea. They believe its unique structure offers strong trademark potential, especially combined with branding and actual use.
Escrow services available for the payment, given the price.
Yes. They mentioned secure escrow services or a direct legal contract are both options.
And the buyer gets total control, DNS, registrar access.
Complete control, yes. Hand it over to the new owner.
Any limits on commercial use?
None whatsoever. Use it for any legitimate business.
What about paying in installments? That $35K is significant.
They hint that structured payment plans might be possible, but only for genuinely serious parties. You'd need to email them directly to discuss that.
Will the current owner help with the transfer process?
Yes, they promise full support and guidance through the transfer.
Let's circle back to the price. Minimum $35,000 USD. Any wiggle room?
They indicate negotiation might be possible, but likely only for premium offers from serious qualified buyers.
And the justification for that price again.
Brand potential, uniqueness, the symbolism, exchange transfer, and future scalability in growing markets. That's the core rationale.
So if someone is ready, they could potentially buy it pretty quickly.
Seems so. They say offers are actively being considered, either directly or maybe through trusted domain brokers.
And they firmly believe it's a solid investment.
Yes, they argue premium domains tied to Web3 and Fintech tend to appreciate over time.
Will there be a formal contract, invoice, that sort of thing?
Yes, a legally binding agreement for professional transactions is confirmed.
And it's definitely a private sale right now, not on GoDaddy auctions or anything.
Correct. Currently offered privately via their ALAN platform.
Interesting. Do they have other domains or digital assets for sale too?
Yes, they say to email them if you're interested in seeing their broader portfolio.
And they're even open to partnerships, not just selling.
Apparently so. They welcome collaborative proposals if you send them detailed project outlines via email.
Okay, last practical point. If someone listening is seriously interested, how do they actually make an offer or get in touch?
2 ways given. Email info@abotland or call WhatsApp the Swiss phone number provided in the materials.
Okay. So wrapping this up, it really feels like xt.money is being presented as much more than just characters and a .money extension.
Yeah, it's positioned as a potential foundation, a cornerstone for a future-thinking financial brand.
Leveraging those core ideas, exchange, transfer in the digital age with that deliberately unique spelling of money.
Exactly. It's that combination exchange transfer and the slightly altered money that they argue gives it significant potential in this fast-moving digital finance world.
So it really makes you think, doesn't it? With Web3 and digital assets evolving so quickly, what kind of really innovative, maybe even groundbreaking financial service or platform could you, the listener, imagine leveraging the power and, frankly, the memorability of a name like xt.money? Definitely something to mull over in the shifting landscape.